Imagine finding out your disgraced cousin just inherited a massive $10 million. Today, we explore 101 times the family outcast won everything. You will not believe how a forgotten waitress secured a literal castle estate. Stay until case 101 to hear the ultimate revenge story. The disowned artist's $10 million masterpiece. A forgotten painter suddenly received an astonishing $10 million fortune from nowhere. In late 2015, Arthur Wellington left his massive London estate behind. His greedy siblings got nothing while the creative outcast secured every valuable asset. 2. The college dropout who got the family farm. A university dropout unexpectedly secured ownership of a massive $2 million farm. Around 2018, an Ohio patriarch completely bypassed his highly educated children. He gifted the sprawling land to the only son who actually loved farming. 3. The embarrassing mechanic who inherited the vintage car fleet. The mocked family mechanic ended up claiming a priceless fleet of vintage cars. In early 2019, a wealthy Chicago businessman finalized his shocking will. The greasy outcast gained the entire collection, while the executives received absolutely nothing. 4. The golden child's empty safe deposit box. The favored son opened his inherited safe only to find complete crushing emptiness. According to reports in 2020, a New York mother changed everything. She secretly gifted her millions to the estranged daughter who truly needed help. 5. The tattooed daughter and the tech fortune. A heavily tattooed rebel suddenly controlled a massive Silicon Valley tech company fortune. During 2021, a strict California father finally saw the truth. He left his massive empire to the daughter who never faked her personality. 6. The stepchild who was actually there. An ignored stepchild suddenly walked away with a beautiful $3 million estate. In late 2017, a dying Texas oilman noticed who actually visited. The biological children received basic greeting cards, while the stepson inherited the fortune. 7. The introvert who inherited the extrovert's empire. A quiet bookworm surprisingly inherited a massive and loud Miami nightclub business empire. Around 2016, a famous party promoter unexpectedly rewrote his final The shy niece secured the business because she actually understood basic financial planning. 8. The lazy gamer who got the patent royalties. The basement gamer suddenly started collecting massive monthly checks from lucrative software patents. In 2019, a Seattle inventor realized his corporate children were greedy. He left all intellectual property rights to the grandson who helped beta test. 9. The runaway teen who returned to a castle. A former runaway teenager mysteriously received the keys to a stunning Scottish castle. During 2018, an eccentric billionaire passed away after a long illness. The distant relatives fumed as the rebellious girl secured the massive historic property. 10. The waitress niece and the secret billionaire. A struggling diner waitress suddenly discovered her boring uncle was actually incredibly wealthy. In early 2020, a quiet Boston accountant left behind massive accounts. He bypassed his greedy siblings and gave the entire fortune to the waitress. 11. The black sheep who paid for the funeral gets it all. The shunned brother ended up inheriting everything after paying for the modest funeral. According to legal records in 2015, a Florida widow passed away. The will specifically rewarded the only family member who covered her burial costs. 12. The weird uncle's cabin that hid a gold mine. A rundown woodland cabin surprisingly concealed a massive hidden fortune in gold bars. In late 2019, an Oregon hermit left his property to nobody. Wait, he left it to the weird nephew who actually liked the woods. 13. The adopted son who beat the biological heirs. An adopted child successfully inherited a massive $5 million trust fund account. Around 2021, a prominent Atlanta judge finalized her controversial will. The biological children sued, but the loyal adopted son legally kept every penny. 14. The musician's son, who inherited the corporate boardroom. A struggling guitar player unexpectedly gained majority control of a massive logistics corporation. In early 2018, a strict Detroit executive passed away quite suddenly. He left his voting shares to the musician because he admired his dedication. 15. The divorced daughter the family shunned. A shunned divorced woman quietly inherited a breathtaking coastal mansion in sunny Malibu. During 2019, a wealthy grandmother updated her final wishes in secret. The judgmental relatives got nothing while the outcast daughter received the entire property. 16. The failure who got the secret Swiss bank account. The supposed family failure suddenly gained access to a massive offshore banking fortune. In late 2020, a secretive London banker finally passed away peacefully. He left his hidden wealth to the son who chose a simple life. 17. The niece who just called to say hello. A thoughtful niece inherited a massive fortune simply because she regularly called home. Around 2017, a lonely Chicago widow updated her strict legal will. She left $3 million to the only relative who remembered her birthday. 18. The nephew who only asked for a recipe, not the cash. A humble nephew received a massive inheritance after asking for a pie recipe. In early 2022, an elderly baker from Brooklyn passed away. She hid her massive savings inside the recipe box given to the nephew. 19. The grandson who visited the nursing home. A loyal grandson walked away with a stunning $2 million real estate. During 2019, an elderly Texas grandfather watched his greedy family disappear. He left everything to the single teenager who visited him every single week. 20. The atheist daughter who inherited the religious father's estate. An atheist daughter surprisingly inherited her strict father's massive religious publishing business empire. In late 2018, a prominent Southern minister completely shocked his congregation. He trusted his honest atheist daughter to run the business better than anyone. 21. The wasted potential son who got the vineyard. The lazy surfer son suddenly became the sole owner of a luxury vineyard. Around 2020, a wealthy California winemaker grew tired of corporate greed. He gifted the beautiful wine estate to the son who loved the outdoors. 22. The high school dropout who got the $5 million trust. A high school dropout unexpectedly unlocked a massive $5 million trust fund. In early 2019, a strict Boston lawyer changed his final documents. He rewarded the dropout who successfully built a business without a fancy degree. 23. The secret child no one knew about. An unknown secret daughter suddenly appeared and claimed a massive $10 million. During 2021, a famous New York architect passed away unexpectedly. His legitimate children were shocked when the secret child legally inherited the fortune. 24. The black sheep who kept the family name alive. The disgraced family outcast successfully inherited a massive and historic European country estate. In late 2017, a British lord updated his highly contested will. He chose the black sheep because he was the only one having children. 25. The outcast who inherited the rival's business. A family outcast surprisingly inherited the massive company belonging to their bitter rival. Around 2019, a fierce Dallas business war finally came to an end. The rival left his empire to the outcast just to spite the family. 26. The broke cousin who got the crypto keys. A struggling cousin suddenly received a digital wallet holding 50 million in Bitcoin. In early 2022, a secretive tech investor died in Seattle. He left the complicated cryptographic keys to the only cousin who understood technology. 27. The daughter who chose love over the arranged marriage. A banished daughter inherited a massive fortune after refusing a strict arranged marriage. During 2020, a wealthy global merchant finally realized his massive mistake. He secretly left his entire shipping empire to the daughter who followed love. 28. The son who refused to work in the family business. An estranged son unexpectedly secured a massive payout from the shady family enterprise. In late 2018, a notorious Vegas casino owner drafted his will. He rewarded the only son who stayed completely clean and avoided the business. 29. The black sheep who was actually the secret investor. The mocked family failure was surprisingly revealed as the primary corporate angel investor. Around 2019, a major Chicago real estate firm almost went bankrupt. The black sheep legally seized the company because he secretly held the debt. 30. The crazy cat lady who inherited the mansion. A neighborhood eccentric surprisingly inherited a breathtaking historical mansion in upstate New York. In early 2020, a lonely millionaire passed away in his sleep. He left his massive home to the lady who rescued his lost kitten. 31. The rebel who inherited the law firm. A motorcycle-riding rebel unexpectedly gained ownership of a prestigious corporate law firm. During 2018, a strict Boston judge finally succumbed to old age. He left the controlling shares to the rebel who fought for actual justice. 32. The black sheep who passed the secret morality test. The family outcast brilliantly passed a hidden test and secured $5 million. In late 2019, an eccentric grandfather pretended to be completely broke. The outcast offered him shelter and immediately inherited the entire massive hidden fortune. 33. The cousin who sent a card instead of a bill. A distant cousin inherited a massive estate just by sending a simple postcard. Around 2021, a wealthy Atlanta widow grew tired of beggars. She left everything to the single relative who never asked for any money. 34. The granddaughter who kept the ugly heirloom. A young girl inherited millions because she kept a seemingly worthless, ugly painting. In early 2015, a famous Paris art collector tested his family. The ugly painting secretly contained the codes to a massive hidden bank account. 35. The ruined son who rebuilt the estate. A disgraced former executive unexpectedly inherited the bankrupt family estate and rebuilt it. During 2019, a ruined Texas oil family lost almost absolutely everything. The outcast son inherited the debt and turned it into a massive fortune. 36. The outcast who got the winning lottery ticket in the will. A shunned brother surprisingly discovered a winning lottery ticket tucked inside the will. In late 2020, a secretive uncle passed away in rural Maine. The ticket was worth $10 million and belonged entirely to the outcast. 37. The disowned LGBTQ child who got the ultimate apology. An estranged gay son unexpectedly received a massive estate and a heartfelt apology. Around 2018, a conservative Southern politician secretly changed his final wishes. He left his entire fortune to the son he had unfairly pushed away. 38. The unsuccessful writer who got the publishing rights. A struggling novelist suddenly gained control of a massive and lucrative publishing empire. In early 2019, a famous London author passed away quite suddenly. She left her valuable copyrights to the niece who actually loved writing books. 39. The black sheep who defended the grandparents' honor. A tough outcast inherited a massive fortune after defending his grandmother in public. During 2020, a wealthy Chicago matriarch witnessed a terrible family argument. She immediately disinherited the bullies and gave everything to her loyal, fierce defender. 40. The sibling who refused to fight over the will. A peaceful sister inherited the entire estate because she refused to file lawsuits. In late 2021, a complicated New York legal battle erupted. The judge enforced a hidden clause rewarding the only sibling who avoided court. 41. The outcast who cared for the pets. A forgotten nephew secured a $2 million mansion by adopting abandoned dogs. Around 2019, a wealthy Los Angeles socialite passed away very quietly. Her will explicitly left her massive home to whoever took her beautiful golden retrievers. 42. The hippie daughter who got the real estate empire. A barefoot environmentalist unexpectedly gained control of a massive urban real estate empire. In early 2018, a ruthless Manhattan developer updated his final documents. He trusted his hippie daughter to manage the properties with actual human compassion. 43. The son who chose peace over profit. A quiet teacher surprisingly inherited a massive and highly profitable corporate hedge fund. During 2020, a stressed Wall Street billionaire finally collapsed from exhaustion. He left his massive wealth to the son who valued mental peace over money. 44. The black sheep who got the map to the hidden cache. The family rebel surprisingly inherited a literal treasure map leading to buried millions. In late 2017, an eccentric Nevada miner passed away in secret. The outcast followed the strange map and uncovered a massive underground gold stash. 45. The niece who was too quiet gets the final word. A painfully shy niece unexpectedly gained control of a massive media broadcasting company. Around 2019, a loud Texas media mogul silenced his greedy family. He left the entire network to the quiet niece who actually listened well. 46. The nephew who didn't even know he was in the will. A distant nephew suddenly received a life-changing check for $5 million. In early 2020, a reclusive Seattle tech pioneer finalized his affairs. The nephew had never even met the man but inherited the entire fortune. 47. The black sheep who rescued the family business. A disgraced former manager surprisingly inherited the massive company he previously helped save. During 2018, a struggling Chicago manufacturing plant almost closed its doors. The dying owner rewarded the outcast who secretly paid off the corporate debt. 48. The delinquent who was actually the caretaker. The supposed family delinquent was surprisingly revealed as the secret full-time caretaker. In late 2019, a wealthy Boston grandmother passed away quite peacefully. She left her massive mansion to the tattooed grandson who bathed her daily. 49. The outcast who got the intellectual property. A shunned artist unexpectedly secured the highly lucrative rights to a famous franchise. Around 2021, a legendary Hollywood creator updated his final will. He bypassed the studios and gave the massive rights to his outcast nephew. 50. The sibling who stayed behind when everyone else left. A loyal brother inherited a massive farming empire after everyone else moved away. In early 2018, an aging Iowa patriarch faced a difficult decision. He gifted the valuable land to the son who never abandoned the town. 51. The black sheep who inherited the island. A notorious family rebel unexpectedly gained ownership of a stunning private tropical island. During 2019, a wealthy Florida investor decided to punish his children. He left the incredible island paradise to the son who hated resort vacations. 52. The troublemaker who got the keys to the vault. The misunderstood troublemaker suddenly received the combination to a massive family bank vault. In late 2020, a secretive Swiss banker finally passed away quietly. The vault contained priceless family artifacts, given only to the rebellious young daughter. 53. The disowned child who bought the family home. An estranged daughter surprisingly purchased her childhood mansion when the family went bankrupt. Around 2018, a wealthy Atlanta family completely lost their massive fortune. The outcast bought the estate in cash and immediately evicted her greedy relatives. 54. The outcast who got the rare coin collection. A forgotten nephew unexpectedly inherited a seemingly small but incredibly valuable coin collection. In early 2019, a quiet history teacher passed away in Ohio. The outcast discovered the dusty coins were actually worth over $3 million. 55. The bad influence who got the charity trust. The supposed bad boy unexpectedly gained control of a massive philanthropic charity trust. During 2020, a wealthy London aristocrat completely shocked high society members. He trusted the outcast to distribute the millions without any corrupt corporate greed. 56. The cousin who actually liked the boring stories. A patient cousin inherited a massive fortune because he listened to boring stories. In late 2017, an elderly war veteran passed away in Texas. His will explicitly rewarded the young man who actually recorded his historical memories. 57. The grandson who listened instead of asking. A quiet teenager surprisingly inherited a massive $3 million stock market portfolio. Around 2019, a wealthy retired broker tested his entire greedy family. He gave everything to the grandson who never once asked for an allowance. 58. The black sheep who got the diamond hidden in the trash. The family rebel unexpectedly discovered a flawless diamond hidden inside a trash bag. In early 2020, an eccentric New York jeweler finalized her will. She left her entire fortune inside a dirty coat given to the outcast. 59. The clumsy hare who got the fragile antiques. A notorious klutz surprisingly inherited a priceless collection of incredibly fragile Ming vases. During 2018, a strict London antique dealer made a shocking decision. He trusted the clumsy son because he was the only one who apologized. 60. The outcast who was left the only valuable painting. A shunned daughter unexpectedly received a dusty painting worth over $5 million. In late 2019, a bankrupt Parisian aristocrat left behind massive debts. The outcast sold the secret masterpiece and instantly became a massive multi-millionaire. 61. The sibling who refused to hire a lawyer. A peaceful brother inherited the entire estate because he absolutely refused legal warfare. Around 2021, a vicious family battle erupted over a mansion. The hidden will clause immediately awarded everything to the brother avoiding the courtroom. 62. The black sheep who got the life insurance payout. An estranged daughter suddenly received a massive $10 million life insurance check. In early 2018, a wealthy Chicago doctor secretly changed his beneficiaries. He completely bypassed his ungrateful wife and rewarded his hardworking outcast young daughter. 63. The unworthy child who got the family crest. The disgraced son surprisingly inherited the ancient family crest and the hidden accounts. During 2019, a British lord passed away after a long illness. The crest contained secret banking codes that unlocked a massive hidden Swiss fortune. 64. The outcast who inherited the off-grid compound. A rebellious environmentalist unexpectedly gained ownership of a massive luxury survival off-grid compound. In late 2020, a paranoid tech millionaire finalized his strange will. He left the impenetrable fortress to the daughter who actually knew wilderness survival. 65. The black sheep who got the stock portfolio. An unemployed surfer surprisingly inherited a highly aggressive and lucrative corporate stock portfolio. Around 2018, a ruthless Wall Street trader suffered a fatal attack. He left the massive accounts to the son who completely hated corporate culture. 66. The crazy uncle's favorite nephew. A struggling student unexpectedly received a massive fortune from his famously crazy uncle. In early 2019, an eccentric Florida man passed away very suddenly. The supposed crazy uncle was actually a secret millionaire who rewarded his favorite. 67. The disowned daughter who got the secret safe. An estranged woman suddenly discovered the combination to a massive hidden wall safe. During 2020, a strict Texas oilman finally succumbed to old age. The safe contained gold bars specifically reserved for the daughter he pushed away. 68. The outcast who got the offshore accounts. A shunned brother surprisingly gained access to massive illegal offshore corporate bank accounts. In late 2017, a corrupt Miami executive faced a massive indictment. He left the hidden money to the honest brother who donated it all. 69. The useless degree that unlocked the will. An art history major unexpectedly inherited a massive fortune due to a riddle. Around 2019, a wealthy Boston collector designed a complex legal will. Only the outcast with the useless degree could actually translate the ancient document. 70. The black sheep who was left the gold bullion. The family rebels suddenly received a heavy wooden crate filled with gold bullion. In early 2020, an eccentric Nevada miner passed away in secret. He bypassed the corporate lawyers and mailed the gold directly to the outcast. 71. The trader who left the state but got the estate. A son who abandoned his hometown surprisingly inherited the massive central family estate. During 2018, an angry Southern patriarch updated his final legal documents. He rewarded the supposed traitor for actually having the courage to leave home. 72. The outcast who got the vintage guitar collection. A failed musician unexpectedly inherited a priceless collection of historical rock and roll guitars. In late 2019, a famous Nashville producer finalized his shocking will. The outcast sold one guitar and instantly bought a massive luxury beach house. 73. The black sheep who inherited the racehorses. An estranged daughter suddenly gained ownership of a highly lucrative professional horse stable. Around 2021, a wealthy Kentucky breeder passed away quite suddenly. He left the champion horses to the daughter who actually loved the animals. 74. The disowned son who got the sports franchise. A disgraced family member surprisingly inherited a massive controlling stake in a team. In early 2018, a famous billionaire sports owner shocked the league. He left the massive franchise to the son who actually played the game. 75. The unemployed heir who got the commercial real estate. A jobless wanderer unexpectedly gained ownership of an incredibly valuable downtown commercial plaza. During 2019, a strict Chicago developer grew tired of ungrateful children. He gifted the massive property to the outcast who needed a real break. 76. The black sheep who got the secret recipe. An estranged baker suddenly inherited the highly guarded formula for a famous sauce. In late 2020, a wealthy restaurant mogul passed away in secret. The outcast used the secret recipe to build an entirely new massive empire. 77. The outcast who inherited the mineral rights. A shunned sister surprisingly gained the extremely lucrative underground mineral rights to land. Around 2018, a struggling Texas family sold their massive surface farm. The outcast secretly kept the mineral rights and became an instant oil billionaire. 78. The disowned child who got the logging empire. An environmentalist daughter unexpectedly inherited a massive and highly profitable timber logging corporation. In early 2019, a ruthless Oregon lumber baron updated his will. He left the empire to the daughter, hoping she would protect the forests. 79. The black sheep who got the private jet. A disgraced former pilot suddenly received the keys to a massive luxury jet. During 2020, a wealthy international businessman completely shocked his greedy family. He left the incredible private airplane to the son who actually loved flying. 80. The reckless heir who got the conservative trust. The wild party boy unexpectedly gained control of a massive conservative financial trust. In late 2017, a strict Boston banker finalized his highly controversial will. He trusted the reckless son because he actually knew how to enjoy life. 81. The outcast who inherited the family archives. A quiet historian surprisingly inherited a dusty basement filled with massive family secrets. Around 2019, an elite political family tried to hide their past. The outcast used the valuable historical archives to secure a massive publishing deal. 82. The black sheep who got the first edition books. An estranged daughter suddenly inherited a seemingly boring collection of old dusty books. In early 2020, a quiet London professor passed away very peacefully. The first editions were actually worth over $4 million at public auction. 83. The disowned daughter who got the royalties. A shunned musician unexpectedly started receiving massive monthly royalty checks from famous songs. During 2018, a legendary record producer updated his final legal documents. He left the lucrative publishing rights to the daughter who never asked for money. 84. The outcast who inherited the family feud and won. A disgraced brother surprisingly inherited a massive legal battle against a corporate giant. In late 2019, a stubborn Texas farmer died fighting a corporation. The outcast took over the impossible lawsuit and won a massive settlement payout. 85. The black sheep who got the unlisted properties. An estranged son suddenly discovered he owned several massive luxury properties hidden overseas. Around 2021, a secretive international spy left behind a fortune. He bypassed the official family channels and gifted the secret houses to the outcast. 86. The forgetful heir who remembered the right details. The supposedly slow nephew unexpectedly inherited a massive fortune by answering a question. In early 2018, a wealthy puzzle maker designed a complex will. The outcast remembered the name of the first family dog and won millions. 87. The outcast who got the blank check. A shunned daughter surprisingly received a legally binding blank check from the estate. During 2019, a quirky tech millionaire decided to test his family. The outcast only cashed it for her student loans but received the millions. 88. The black sheep who inherited the secret debt-free business. An unemployed brother suddenly gained ownership of a massive, completely debt-free business. In late 2020, a flashy Miami entrepreneur appeared to die broke. He secretly hid a highly profitable clean company and gave it to the outcast. 89. The disowned child who got the art gallery. An estranged painter unexpectedly inherited a beautiful and highly profitable downtown art gallery. Around 2018, a strict New York critic passed away very suddenly. He left the prestigious gallery space to the child whose art he mocked. 90. The outcast who got the waterfront property. A forgotten cousin surprisingly inherited a breathtaking piece of pristine oceanfront real estate. In early 2019, a wealthy California developer updated his final will. He left the incredibly valuable beachland to the cousin who loved surfing. 91. The black sheep who inherited the foreign assets. A disgraced traveler suddenly gained control of massive hidden banking assets in Switzerland. During 2020, a secretive corporate lawyer finally passed away in sleep. He left the highly illegal offshore fortune to the son who lived abroad. 92. The dishonest heir who proved everyone wrong. The accused family thief unexpectedly inherited a massive fortune after proving absolute innocence. In late 2017, a wealthy Chicago matriarch discovered the actual truth. She disinherited the real thieves and gave millions to the falsely accused outcast. 93. The outcast who got the family trust control. A quiet sibling surprisingly gained complete legal control over the massive family trust. Around 2019, a prominent Boston patriarch realized his oldest was greedy. He gave the voting power to the outcast, who immediately cut everyone off. 94. The black sheep who inherited the secret invention. An estranged mechanic suddenly received the highly valuable patent for a revolutionary engine. In early 2020, a brilliant Detroit engineer finalized his final documents. He left the massive future royalties to the son who actually understood machines. 95. The disowned child who got the luxury yacht. A shunned sailor unexpectedly gained ownership of a massive multi-million-dollar yacht. During 2018, a wealthy Florida businessman completely shocked his country club. He left the massive floating mansion to the daughter who actually loved sailing. 96. The outcast who got the historical landmark. A forgotten historian surprisingly inherited a massive and priceless protected historical city landmark. In late 2019, an eccentric preservationist passed away in New Orleans. She left the incredible property to the nephew who actually respected the architecture. 97. The black sheep who inherited the philanthropic foundation. An estranged activist suddenly gained control of a massive charitable foundation worth millions. Around 2021, a wealthy tech billionaire updated his final wishes. He trusted the outcast to actually distribute the massive funds to real charities. 98. The greedy siblings share given to the black sheep. A demanding brother completely lost his inheritance to the quiet outcast sibling instead. In early 2018, a strict judge reviewed a highly contested will. A hidden clause immediately redirected the massive funds when the brother demanded more. 99. The outcast who got the last laugh and the millions. A mocked comedian unexpectedly inherited a massive $10 million corporate trust fund. During 2019, a stern business executive passed away quite suddenly. He left the fortune to the funny son who never took life seriously. 100. The black sheep who inherited the secret safe house. An estranged daughter suddenly discovered she owned a highly fortified hidden survival bunker. In late 2020, a paranoid government contractor finalized his secret will. He left the massive, fully stocked underground compound to the rebellious young outcast. 101. The disowned child who got the family secrets. A shunned writer surprisingly inherited a massive vault filled with dark family blackmail. Around 2018, a powerful political fixer passed away in Washington, D.C. The outcast used the explosive documents to completely destroy the corrupt family empire. The outcast who got the keys to the kingdom. A forgotten assistant unexpectedly gained absolute control of a massive global media conglomerate. In early 2019, a ruthless billionaire completely bypassed his greedy children. He gave the controlling corporate shares to the outcast who actually worked hard. The black sheep who inherited the undisclosed wealth. A disgraced cousin suddenly discovered a massive hidden fortune in untraceable rare diamonds.